WYMT Mountain News first at 4.
Good afternoon, I'm Olivia Calfee. First at 4, addiction recovery organizations gathered at Perry County Park for a rally put together by Mountain Comprehensive Care. WYMT's Chandler Wilcox is at the rally with details about how the recovery community is continuing to grow in confidence.
This is the first community event that the Mountain Comprehensive Care Hazard Intensive Outpatient Center has hosted. Multiple organizations have lined up to show their unity. Locals carried bags of gifts and information along with donations from the community itself. Intensive Outpatient Center Coordinator Ruby Gayhart says it is a blessing to see the recovery community growing.
For everybody to be together is truly amazing and it's powerful. We need that, and because substance use is going to be here for a lifetime, and we have a lot of overdoses. It's a constant everyday battle.
Organizers say by having this event, they hope to erase the stigma behind substance abuse and help people through the recovery process. In Hazard, Chandler Wilcox, WYMT Mountain News.
We will have more on the testimonies shared and information exchanged at the rally tonight at 6. At the Kentucky Derby, Skinner has become the latest horse to be scratched. Trainer John Sheriffs says the California-based colt has an elevated temperature. With the defection of Skinner, the field for the 149th Derby tomorrow is down to 19 horses. The scratch deadline was this morning at 9, so no other horses can be added to the field. 3 horses scratched yesterday. The last time 4 horses were scratched from the Derby was 2015. A young Pulaski County man was killed in a violent crash Thursday. 21-year-old Bryson Goff was killed in the crash near the intersection of Kentucky 1247 and Floyd Switch Road south of Eubank. State police say Goff was heading north when the Dodge Ram pickup truck he was driving sideswiped another pickup. A woman came home to find the tragic scene in her front yard.
Because, I mean, you know, here's this young man that had his whole life ahead of him, and he's gone. You know, he's gone. And I mean, he hit that hard enough. I mean, it separated the cab of the truck.
State police say they are still investigating the cause of the crash.
We are tracking some beautiful weather across the mountains as we close out the work week, looking at plenty of sunshine and blue sky across the mountains right now. Here's a live look over at Buffalo Mountain. You can see plenty of sunshine back in the distance. That current temperature is 73 degrees, so we are very comfortable as we close out the work week. Up on radar, a clean sweep, and that will continue for most of us as we go into tonight as well. Only a very small chance of a stray shower, especially over our southwestern counties, but most of us stay dry into tonight. Those current temperatures middle 70s, 74 in Jackson, 75 in Somerset, 72 for Pikeville, and 77 at this hour over in Manchester. If you have any plans tonight to go out to dinner, the weather is going to be fantastic. We stay dry under plenty of sunshine, temperatures falling into the lower 70s, eventually the upper 60s, and we fall into the lower 50s as you wake up tomorrow morning. We are watching out though for possibly a few showers and storms by Sunday and also into next week. All those details coming up in just a few minutes. Olivia?
All right, thank you, Cameron. Preparations are kicking into high gear in London as Great Britain gets ready for tomorrow's coronation of King Charles III. Ian Lee reports from London.
King Charles shook hands with supporters lining the mall outside Buckingham Palace to watch the British monarch's coronation tomorrow.
He asked if anybody overnighted and my hair is sticking up and I said yes, and he leaned over and shook my hand.
The king's son and daughter-in-law, Prince William and Kate, also greeted well-wishers as the excitement for the big event grows.
Friend, bit of sunshine stays back, keep you dry.
Final preparations are well underway. Horses did a practice run parading through the streets Friday while a worker cleaned the steps of the palace entrance.
I had to come to support the new king and yeah, it's just really exciting.
King Charles will be the 40th monarch crowned here at Westminster Abbey. It's a tradition dating back to William the Conqueror in 1066. For some, this new chapter of the monarchy is taking some time to get used to.
Long live the Queen, the King. They made that mistake, classic mistake.
Friday, King Charles and other members of the royal family attended a lunch for some of the dignitaries in town for the ceremony. Representing the U.S., First Lady Jill Biden. There will be roughly 2,000 guests for the coronation ceremony. It may sound like a big number, but it's a fraction of the 8,000 plus who attended his mother's coronation in 1953. Ian Lee, CBS News, London.
The 74-year-old royal will be crowned alongside his wife Camilla, the Queen Consort. Some companies are experimenting with shortening their work weeks. It means longer hours while at work, but longer weekends. Blake Keller has more.
Kara Pennell is happy with her job as a registered nurse.
I love my job here. You kind of get in a groove, you get to know your patients.
2.5 years in, she's attached to her current shift. 3 days, 12 hours each.
I love working 3/12s. I feel like, honestly, my days are just as long as 8-hour shifts, and then I also get 4 days off.
She used to work 5 days a week at a restaurant, but is now finding balance.
You know, it's not too much to where you feel like burnt out or anything like that, because then you now have 4 days to take your personal time and do what you like to do.
And a majority agree. The trial run of that 4-day week in the UK shows 71% of employees report less burnout.
I was like, you only get 2 days off a week. That's just not enough.
Having less burnout is needed for an industry like nursing. Jason Graves is the hospital system manager of recruitment.
We see increased job satisfaction, we see better work-life balance, as well as a better quality of care for the patient, as well as a continuity of care.
That's what attracted former bedside nurse Kyle Gordon Bidwell to the clinical nurse supervisor position he's now in.
Usually I work Monday through Thursday, but then I can flex to Friday, just depending on what else is going on. I like having the 3-day weekend, definitely helps with work-life balance.
And the two are seeing improvements to their personal and their professional lives.
I love to take vacations. You know, I like my time off. I like to spend time with my family, and it just gives me that added flexibility.
And usually we try to do continuity of care. So we try to keep the same patient. So that way you kind of get used to them, they get used to you, the family gets, you know, a relationship, that bond with you.
This workplace model allows staff to spend less time in here and more time at home with their friends and family. And they say they don't think they're ever going to go back to any other type of schedule.
I don't know anyone personally that doesn't love working 3/12s compared to having to work like 5/8s.
And this type of model could help attract more workers.
If anything, it makes it a little bit easier for us to sell some of these positions as opposed to some of the more traditional 9 to 5, 5 days a week type of positions.
Michigan Works Great Lakes Bay region is helping to connect employers with employees. Interim CEO Kristen Wenzel says a trial run could help a local business.
It creates some unique opportunities for employers to take a look at what's working and what's not working for their business.
And this is as Wenzel says employees are aging out of the workforce and young people are not keeping pace.
The younger people are looking for more work-life balance. They are looking for ways that they can be working differently than what they've watched how they've watched their parents work.
So that'll take some trial and error from companies, but for My Michigan Health, shorter work weeks is doing wonders for employees.
The impacts that you're going to see in your employee engagement, job satisfaction, reduced turnover, reduced vacancy rates is definitely worth it.
A couple days just to myself, like, is really kind of nice.
I'd be lying if I say it's not stressful being at work, but having that additional day off, my weekend is actually time off and self-care.
Coming up on First at